I will tell you what God can do. He can do anything. God can pick you up, but I'm gonna tell you something right now. You can be successful without an education. You can be successful without coming from a rich family.
There is an old person down inside of you that's dependent on you to be smart. It's the person you're gonna be 30, 40 years from now. Do not disappoint that person by being foolish through the strongest years of your life. And then when your back is out and your knees are swollen and you can't move around, now you're out there gonna get your grind on now? It is the message you tell yourself. I'm tired, I can't do that, I don't feel like. We become what we say to ourselves. You will never win the Olympics talking about, oh no, I don't feel like working out today.
You can be successful. I don't care what color you are, what faith you belong to, your sexual preference. I don't care what's wrong with you. You can be successful. I'm gonna tell you flat out, you have got to tie your existence to your creator. If you don't tie who you are to God, I got news for you. You're gonna forever struggle. What I'm telling you is something you can do today. You ain't gotta go to school to get this one. You ain't gotta have no meeting with nobody. I'm telling you that if you solidify a relationship with God, you ain't gotta ask nobody's permission. You ain't got to check in. He ain't got no line. You can go and form this relationship today, this evening when you get home. Listen, man, you can shortcut this. I ain't got no education. I flunked out of school. I will tell you what God can do. He can do anything. God can pick you up when you're at your lowest moment. God can take your existence and turn it around.
I've seen people who are on their grind. I've seen Steve Harvey's on his grind. I've seen people on their grind. What on the grind really is a work ethic that would blow your mind. It would blow your mind. I'm 60 years old, and everybody who works for me is younger than me, and they'll tell you, I'll work you up under the table. I'll work you up under the table. My father decided what grinding was. You weren't grinding till daddy said you were grinding. Take your hands out your pocket, boy, like you got $1 million in your pocket. They trained us not to be lazy. They talked about lazy like it was a disease. Don't tell me you're on the grind and you're not really on the grind.
I've asked God for more stuff than anybody in this room. I promise you I have. I put in really huge requests with him. I've out-asked most people in my family. I have a huge amount of faith. I really believe God can do anything. I really don't think he can fail. So with that in mind, I ask for stuff that's out of the ordinary. I don't ask God for nothing regular. I ask him for outrageous things.
Throw your whole self at something. You'll never know what you can do and what you can be until you throw your whole self at it. Devour it. I mean, devour it. Don't try it, devour it, attack it. Attack it like you're gonna kill it. Devour the prey. And in the evening, you divide the spoils. We have it backwards today. We want to divide the spoils in the morning. See, don't worry about whose name you wear when you're young. Worry about your name. If you try something and it doesn't work, it's okay. Try something else.
I didn't know how to become this, but I knew God did. I expect God to do exceedingly and abundantly over all that I think I ask because I honor him. His blessings will chase me down and overtake me. I will be in the right place at the right time. People will go out of their way to be good to me. This is my declaration as a servant of the Lord. I'm not the brightest person in this room. I'm really not. You can't out-faith me, you can't out-believe me, and you can't out-hustle me. You can't out-hustle me, you can't out-believe me. It's a lot of people more talented than me. It's a lot of comedians that's funnier than me. It's a lot of people can act better than me. It's a lot of game show hosts out here. Not now one of them can out-hustle me though. There ain't a person living that can out-hustle and then out-believe me. I believe in God and I hustle.
What could I do with what I have left? Your miracle is never in what you lost. It is always in what you have left. If you're down to a handful of meal, that's all you need. If you're down to 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, that's all you need. And so when you start looking at what you have left, stop grieving over what you lost. Because if you needed it, you wouldn't have lost it. For me, once I envision where I'm going, then I can tell what I don't need. Why do I load down my bag with things I don't need? I want to circumspectly, with great precision, tailor my life down to the things that are necessary to get me where I'm trying to go. It is not where we're trying to go that is the problem. It is what are you willing to leave behind to get there? What are you willing to leave behind? If you're gonna soar, you have to break a law to soar. The law is the law of gravity. The Wright brothers had to figure this out, that every time they tried to go up, Isaac Newton was right, something kept pulling them down. There are people in this room that every time they go after their dream, something keeps pulling them down. That they're trying to do, but every time they try to do it, that something keeps pulling them down. There is a law that always wants to pull you down to where you came from. You came from the dirt, and where you came from will always call you back. You have to escape the gravitational pull of where you came from. And in order to do that, you have to break through into a higher law. The higher law is the law of aerodynamics. But you have to break into it. And what I need the force for, the reason I need the runway to get my engines ramped up is because when I come up against it, and this is where young people make a mistake, they underestimate the pull to fall backwards. They saw planes take off and they said, I can do that, but they underestimate how much force it takes to break through the gravitational pull that brings you back down. So when they fall back down, they give up on themselves and they stop believing in themselves. Whereas if you would just go faster at it and go harder at it, you would break through the law of gravity.
I try to get my millennials to understand, it take a long time to make a lot of money. Daddy, you making money, I'm 61. It take a long time to make a lot of money. You ever notice when you walk on an airplane and you walk past first class, everybody in first class got gray hair. Them businessmen, they earn the right. You go in the back, it's young people back there. You back there. You got your iPhone out, you got your headsets on. Them grown ass men up there got their legs crossed, they got a briefcase out. They trying to figure it out. They trying to make this paper. They in front.